Welcome back to another section. And this section I'll deal with how to prepare for a layoff. All right. There are 8 tips that I would like you to consider for surely. The first one talks about being aware of what a layoff brings to the table. So we did look at the other section in terms of the psychological, emotional aspects, the low moods, the sadness, the guilt, and stuff like that. Be aware. And I would urge you to go ahead, read stories from social media, specifically on LinkedIn, of people who are being laid off. Uh, how was, how did they react? What was the situation? Um, how did they reconnect with their friends? And what was the success story? So go ahead and read it. A lot of stories are there on social media, on YouTube, on Instagram. Uh, and people are it's no more a taboo subject, right? Layoffs is the new normal. So go ahead. I mean, that's your preparation. Don't wait for it to happen and then start preparing. I would urge you to prepare now. The moment you're listening to me now, start preparing. Be more aware, be more alert, uh, and equip yourself. That's number one. So increasing your awareness of what the layoff brings to your table is the first point. Now, moving on, the second one, we talk about networking, very, very important. And you know it as a professional, you know the importance of networking. You need to be connected, you need to communicate. Uh, so, firstly, as I keep saying, you need to be connected within. And when I say connected within, I'm talking about being centered within yourself, right? Being authentic, the ability to communicate what you really want to communicate, whether it is a happy time, whether it is a sad time. It's easy to communicate when you're happy, you're in a good mood. You can go ahead with all your smiles, you will speak. But when you're in a bad mood and when you're down, that is also the time to communicate with at least some people, right? I've seen a lot of people folding themselves up during their sad, bad moments, and coming back as great people. I mean, we are humans. Both of them happen, right? We do have happy moments, we do have sad moments, but how are we when it comes to being professional, right? When you are in office, when you're in a corporate, when you're actually working on a project, the mood, does it matter? It doesn't matter, because we know we need to deliver. If we do not deliver, we know the outcome. Hence, ensure that you are connected to people. That's the easiest way. Now, when we talk about networking, okay, you will be in touch with your friends who are in your area of interest. Let's say, for example, you're a project manager, so you're in touch with people who are in the same kind of domain. Let's say you're a Java programmer, you are in touch with people who actually do the coding. Let's say you are into leadership, so you are in touch with several leaders who actually manage larger teams, which is really good. Having said that, networking also means that you need to also tap people who you do not know, right? That is the way to start communication, to start engaging with them, trying to understand their perspective, sharing with them your perspective. That's also very important. So networking within the company, networking outside the company is pretty important, guys. So that leads to very nicely to the third tip of using the social media. So when you do the networking part of it, one of the aspects of networking is sharing your thoughts on your area of expertise. So you have websites like Instagram, like YouTube, like LinkedIn, where you can write articles on your area of expertise. So you can just say you can plan one article per month, if not more than that. And you've been seeing me in terms of how I write on LinkedIn, 1 or 2 articles per day, if not a bit more. Um, and for me, it is important to share what I feel. Sometimes it is personal, sometimes it is professional, but it helps me center within. It helps me connect to my own friends. It can be just 1 or 2 friends who might actually like your post, but doesn't really matter. Go ahead. The platform is meant for that. Platform is meant to share. So go ahead. Facebook, you can actually share your personal journey over there. I'm not saying share all your photos. Don't do it in case you're not too comfortable, but share. That's very, very important. So specifically on social media, be active. Once a month, as I said, write an article over there or write a post over there. Any opportunity which you have to speak, use it. So, for example, you're working in a corporate. A corporate has a CSR policy, where they actually go and help, let's say, for a government school, or a college or engineering college, for example. If there's a chance for you to go and speak, uh, go ahead and speak and record it, and then put it up on a YouTube or Insta, on a LinkedIn. Let people actually know how you articulate your thoughts. That's important. Um, Also, even if you work in a corporate, you can talk about. I mean, no one wants to talk about confidential things within the company. Not needed. What is needed is on your specialization, on your what exactly you're working, right? You can talk about it. Video recorded, you know, podcast are pretty normal nowadays. Why don't you just interview someone who's working on site, put it up, and no one really bothers. Or in case you feel that the company has an issue, take those permissions from the relevant compliance teams and then go ahead. So networking means, yeah, be connected with friends, with strangers who are into your domain. Networking also means using social media, leveraging social media to your advantage as such. Now, one of the things is, imagine your competitor. The next tip is about pursuing certifications. Imagine your competitor who applies for the same role, right? What he or she brings to the table, right? Similar kind of a work experience, number of years, similar kind of profile, similar kind of recommendations. Uh, we need to constantly think, right? Uh, what is relevant to the market? What is needed for that particular company? What is needed to really grab the job, as they say, right? Certifications to an extent play the role. I'm not saying with certifications you actually get a job, but it'll help you remain relevant. And when they actually see you certified, they also see the seriousness with which you're pursuing your career. So always look at pursuing maybe one or two certifications per year. Some actually leave it to reimbursement from the company, thinking that only if the company reimburses, then they will do the certification. What if you're laid off? You will have to any which ways take it out of your pocket. So always keep in mind, guys. I mean, okay, if the company is giving you reimbursement, I've been into L&D, so I know we have a certification policy where if people pursue certifications, notifying us, we do reimburse, right? That that policy is there for most of the corporates. But having said that, don't restrict yourself, saying that only the company reimburses. Will I be pursuing a certification? No, it is for your own use. Once you're laid off, no one reimburses, basically from your pocket. So have a strategy in place every year, one or two, depending on your field. Pursue it. If it's not a certification, then attend lectures outside your corporate, attend lectures within your corporate, give lectures on your topic of expertise. All of these ways are showing to yourself and others how serious you are about your own career journey as such. The fifth tip talks about keeping your profile and cover letter fresh, right? What we normally do is only once we start exploring options, that's when we are serious about keeping our uh, cover letter or keeping our profile updated or your resume updated. I would suggest, have a Word document on your personal laptop. Keep adding almost daily or weekly or frequently. Keep just adding whatever new things that you actually learned, which you want to talk about it during your interview as such. That way, your resume will be fresh, and you need not actually sit the day before you want to apply and start thinking what else you need to really add. You are already prepared as such, right? The sixth tip talks about taking stock of your career. So uh, you can do it post layoff because you'll have the time, but I would suggest uh, now itself, have a look at what are the kind of competencies and skills you have built in this particular role, in this particular company, and the previous companies that you actually work for. List them down. I would always urge you to document it. It's always better to document it because you can go back within a week or a month or a year to see, what was your thinking there. So take stock in terms of what else you want to develop. What are the other skills you want to develop? What are the companies you want to target? What are the different roles you want to play within the corporate or outside? Are there any freelancing opportunities which you want to tap? Are there any passions within your area of expertise you want to tap? So relook at your career, guys. I mean, I think every 6 months, 1 year, don't be stuck to one particular role forever. I've seen people working in the same role 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. they're comfortable, which is okay, fine. But once you have a layoff, you need to open up your options. So if you have to be prepared, you need to be, thinking. So the sixth option talks about taking stock of your career. Emergency layoff fund. I will talk about it in the managing finances aspect. But one simple tip over here is, I think, start off an SIP, systematic investment plan, for as much as you can afford, right? If you can save 5,000, 10,000, 20, 25, go ahead, put it off, let it debit your account, think that it's an expense, think that it's a saving, but you don't touch it. You don't touch that fund for any kind other emergencies. You should be having, the other SIPs or any other FDs or any other savings which you have to tap for other emergencies, or for school fees or anything which actually come up. This emergency layoff fund, ELF as we call it, is for uh, when the layoff happens. From that moment, from that day onwards, until you get your next job or your next freelancing opportunity or your opportunity where you start getting income, right? For that period, it can be 1 week, 1 month, 6 months, 1 year, 2 year. Very important. Now, layoffs are happening. It might happen to you or me. Nothing to be scared, but just be prepared. So have that ELF, emergency layoff fund, put as much as you can afford, and then continue that, and don't touch the fund until you are laid off. Uh, the last one, it's a bit generic tip, but very, very important, that you need to sustain a great work ethic, right? Work ethic is what we need to sustain, right from being disciplined, logging in time, logging off in time, being on time with meetings, in meetings rather, and being present at office, or being present whenever we are required, being available, and bringing the quality of work in terms of style, speed, insight, and completeness does actually matter. You need to demonstrate ownership within the role which you're doing, be customer obsessed, and read as many books as possible. Study people you admire. That's very important, right? Sometimes we do have leaders within the corporate whom we look up to for the kind of SME subject matter expertise that they actually bring in. And in leadership, we actually love some people, maybe outside the corporate, who are really good, right? Studying those people, reading those books also help you, be prepared and help you actually sustain a great work ethic. So, 8 points: be aware of what a layoff brings to the table, network, use social media, pursue certifications, keep your profile and cover letter fresh, take stock of your career, have an emergency layoff fund, ELF, and sustain a great work ethic, guys. These are the 8 ways from my stable, I can say, which might help you and which will help you for sure to prepare for a layoff, guys. And thank you so much for being with me so far. We'll meet in the next section, guys. Thank you.